Today, we are talking mainly about unemployment, and to me, this is a very significant issue that we all care about. I've not yet met anybody in the Congress or anywhere that think we shouldn't do something about it. So it's unanimous. Unemployment is too high, and the goal is to keep unemployment low and employment high, and this would make everybody happy. But the disagreement seems to come from trying to understand how we got unemployment and what we should do about it. And I've argued that if you don't know exactly why we have unemployment, it's very hard to come up with a solution. And that is the purpose of these hearings, at least initially, to try to understand the ramifications and especially the connection of unemployment to monetary policy. Because people they're thinking more about the Federal Reserve policy today than ever before, and everybody does have opinions. Some people think the money, there's too much easy money and credit and interest rates are too low, and others complain on the other side and say that we need more of it. We need more expansion of credit, and we need more spending. So that's where the disagreements are. But I think there should be a lot of goodwill here in the goal of finding out just what causes our problems and what we can agree on, what we can do about it. You know, between 2001 and 2010, we had a population growth of 26 million people. Yet at the end of that decade, we had 2.3 million less people employed. So these numbers aren't very encouraging. It's terrible that there's 2.3 million people not employed, but there was a big I think it might even underestimate the problem since we had such a big population growth. Just in the last 3 years, or between 2007 and 2010, we had 7 million jobs lost. I do know that we've had some increase in jobs in the last year, but we're still way behind the curve. But even with the job increase, we here in Washington, the combination of the Fed and what the Congress has done, we probably have pumped in $4 trillion. And if you look at the new jobs we created, I would say they're very, very expensive jobs. I imagine we could have given everybody, 60, 70, maybe $100,000. I haven't done the calculation. Just give them the money, and they'd have been better off. And that, of course, would have satisfied the people who say we have to stimulate spending, and the money would be there. But instead, the money went in different places, and the unemployment rates haven't dropped. Another problem I see when we deal with the unemployment is sometimes we get confused on how we measure it. The lead figure from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics comes up every month, and they tell us that unemployment is 9%. And it's down from 9.5 down to 9. There's a great recovery going on. But the people don't feel that way. The unemployment rate is still very high. And if you look to some of the private sources of measuring unemployment, you find out that unemployment may well be much higher. Even the government statistics reveal that if you count all the people who are just partially employed or working part-time on weekend, that number can jump to 16 or 17%. But then if you include all those individuals who have given up looking for work, then there's some who report that the unemployment rate could be 22 or 23%, reaching almost the height of the Depression. So I would encourage all of us to think more seriously about how we measure unemployment, and if this is a real problem, that we ought to do something about defining what how to measure unemployment. I think in this discussion today, certainly we will be thinking about the results, the efficiency of the Federal Reserve, because they've had a mandate, and the Congress gave them a mandate, and the mandate is that we should have stable prices and high employment. Well, I can produce some statistics, and maybe later on will, to show that prices really aren't all that stable, and certainly unemployment reflects a failure. I mean, if that's their job, they didn't do a very good job. They haven't been very efficient in producing jobs. So these are the things we want to talk about, and and try to resolve and then see what needs to be done. Because like I said, who wants high unemployment? Nobody wants high unemployment. We want to get people employed. I work from the assumption that there is a direct connection between monetary policy and the business cycle, and therefore we should pay more attention to it. Now I would like to yield